Guys, good morning, good night, good evening, good afternoon. Hey guys, what's up? What's up? Welcome again to another BEJ live daily live stream. Remember, the official BEJ live channel is not this one, but you can find the link to that channel in the description down below. Click on that, go over to that channel, subscribe to it. We go live daily at 10 a.m. JST. We will be back on that channel tomorrow, Monday morning, Japan Standard Time at 10 a.m. Okay, remember the link is down below in the description and it will also be pinned at the top in the comment section as well. Daily live streams on that channel, the BEJ live channel, the official live channel. Before we begin, let me just I'll get something set really quickly. And today I wanted to change just the tone of most of the messages, right, that have been going on so far. The okay, I'm just trying to let me just check a few things because this seems to be moving a little bit slow. Let me just double check. Okay, I think we're good. Are we good? Are we good? Okay, I think we're good. I want to change the tone a little bit because for the last almost week or so, the messages that we've been doing have been more so talking about the pandemic, talking about what is happening right now in the world, and we can get that information from everywhere, right? Again, you guys can call in as well. The numbers are in the description down below. You can find the phone number to call directly. You can also find the Skype ID that you can use to add us, and we can give you a call once we receive the request. What I'm saying is that we can tune into normal news broadcasts, right? We can tune into the news in our respective countries, and we can find out what's up, guys, what's going on, what's taking place everywhere. But I really think it's important that right now we don't allow what's going on to rob us of our joy, peace of mind, especially right now when there's a lot of uncertainty going on. There's a lot of uncertainty. Many people have gone bankrupt. Businesses have closed. Some people have been laid off. Some people have lost their jobs. A lot of people don't know what they're going to do after the pandemic has passed. Right? So some people as well are okay. Some people are safe. They're fine. They still have their jobs, their businesses, whatever, and they're not worried about anything else. But for those of us who, like, have been affected by what's taking place, I wanted to focus more on positivity today and maybe going forward. I don't know. It depends on what the news of the day is. But I definitely wanted to do something today that has more of a positive bent on it. Sorry, guys, I'm multitasking right now because I'm trying to do something at the same time while I'm doing this. So let's see if I can at least get this thing done. Okay, I think that will have to do it for now. Okay, for instance, because of the uncertainty that's taking place right now, I feel like most of us have no idea what the future will look like. There's also some of us who are concerned about the conspiracy theories that are going around, right? Which uh, is a cause for concern if any of these things are true. And some people, because of that, and even what's going on right now in terms of seeing what's taking place in the world, people are concerned. And there's great trepidation and fear. I shared a story on the BEJ Live channel a few days ago about just my mom and how she operates whenever she has to go out in the States, in New York, to go grocery shopping and stuff like that. And the way she said she felt in the nighttime, right? There's a lot of anxiety. And that's what this thing is causing. A lot of people are anxious. A lot of people are afraid. A lot of people feel extremely vulnerable. right? And then when you check out the news, it's just telling you about what's going on with the economy. It's telling you what's going on with the virus in terms of death. So it's a lot of negativity mostly, and that has drained most of us of our peace of mind, our joy. I've also seen people who have put a spin on it, and they're doing different things, right? They're making parodies, they're making, different type of videos. They're trying to like put a spin on it to uplift people's spirits, right? They're trying to do that. But out of every great upheaval, out of every great pandemic or any disaster across the world over, there is an opportunity. It's like also like if you have a coin, there's two sides to the coin as well. And of course, we need to prepare. Of course, we need to do what's required, what's necessary in the present moment in time to make sure that we're staying safe, to make sure that we're keeping our families safe, to make sure that we're doing the things that will keep other people safe as well. But at the same time, we need to look beyond that, right? And think about our future, think about the next step, right? Because we have given the government of our respective lands the responsibility to do what governments are elected to do, right? You serve the people. They're trying to do as much as they can to battle the pandemic, COVID-19, in whatever country, right? So that's their job, right? They control that, right? Whether it's lockdown, whether it's closures, whether it's stimulus packages, whether it's, I don't know, whatever it is, that's their job. But what is the job of the citizens? What's the job of the people who now might be home because they can't work? What's the job of, parents, kids, students, business owners, etc., people on the ground, indoors? What are you going to do personally right now, right, to ride this thing out, to think about what's next? As I said, in history, every great upheaval, or just the way life is overall, every disaster, everything that can be perceived as negative is an opportunity. And it's all about perspective. How do you look at it? How do you see it? And if you're able to switch your mindset and the way you're looking at something, then you can change the outcome overall or just the way you experience it. So a simple example is when someone does something to you, that thing can have an adverse effect if you accept it and respond in like manner, like kind, or it's in a response. Someone can say something to you that with the intent of trying to break you down, but if you don't allow that thing to penetrate you, you're cool. But it's all about the response. It's all about the response. COVID-19 right now is driving fear into the hearts of many people across the world. It's robbing many of us of our joy, and especially for people who have lost their jobs. Some people have lost their loved ones, so there's a grieving process, and we know how horrible that can be. Some people, you had a business, and now your business has gone under. You're not sure what you're going to do next. You've lost your clients, right? You've lost so many things. What's next? The government are doing what they can. It appears. Some of them are moving slower than others. Some of them are handling what's going on in a way that we're not too confident about how they're doing it. But on an individual basis, in terms of yourself, your family, your loved ones, your household, what are you doing personally? The thing, even though we're in a period of uncertainty, the thing that will take us over to the other side of COVID-19, post-COVID-19, is our mindset. Because of course, let's say any of the conspiracy theories are true, for instance. Okay, what will we do if that happens? Let's say COVID-19 passes and everything returns to normal. What will you be doing then? One thing is for sure, in the midst of the uncertainty, if we can change our mindsets overall, that's the most important part. Yes, you might not have a job. Yes, you might not have a business. Yes, you might not know where you're going to turn, where money's going to come from, how you're going to move forward. But if you can change your mindset and focus on, your internal environment and just literally allow your joy to come from within and not without, then whatever comes, come what may, who knows, whether it's the New World Order or whatever the case is, there is something that you can do as an individual internally to make sure that you're centered and that peace resides in your mind, that you can take on whatever comes. We don't know what's going to happen after COVID-19. We never even saw this coming. I doubt the world has ever experienced anything like this before. I'll get your comments in a second, guys. I doubt the world has ever seen anything like this before. So most of us don't even know where to start, where to begin. But while the government is doing what they're doing, we need to do something as well individually, whether it's, I don't know, find the opportunity in the moment, prepare for post-COVID-19, whether it's a worst case scenario or a best case scenario. Like, what will you be doing? There's an opportunity there. Do you see it? Are you looking for it? Right? The mindset, that's the thing that will, mindset. That's the difference. I remember Viktor Frankl, you guys may know him, the Jewish guy who was in the camp, during the time when Hitler was doing what he was doing. And even though he was there, his body was imprisoned, but his mind was free. And that's true of every man, every woman, every boy, every girl. People can do whatever they want to your body. They can chain you up. You can be locked into your house. Whatever it is, whether they declare martial law or whether it's New World Order, whatever the case, I don't know. I'm just saying. Put everything on the table. This is the place where you can reside and you can be free here. Even if they shackle you, they throw you wherever they want to throw you. You need to make sure that your mind is free, and you need to prepare as much as you can for your future. Look for the opportunity. And life as well is seasonal, right? We got good days, we have bad days. You have winter. Some people don't like winter, but it's necessary, right? Some people don't like summer, but it's necessary. Some people despise spring, but it's necessary, right? So it's just the way life is. Life is cyclical, right? Like it just goes like this. They say nothing is new under the sun. So I'm saying it's, how will you respond to COVID-19? Will you respond to COVID-19 mentally, emotionally, the way that people want you to respond to it, whether it's the government or whoever else? Or will you control yourself? Like, will you yourself decide how you want to respond to COVID-19 in terms of the best interest for yourself and your family? How will you respond to it? Because someone called, I think it was 2 days ago on the live channel. And the person was talking about, we just need to be still. And I think it's essential. Really just engage in introspection and think about what period we're in right now. There's a lot of uncertainty, no doubt. There's a lot of uncertainty. But if we sit back and think for a second, extricate ourselves from what's taking place outside. We watch the news, we see what's going on, but spend 15 minutes, sit down for a second and really think about it. And then separate what you can control from what you can't control. Okay, I can't control this. I can't, for instance, a simple example is if a country says you can't travel there, you can't go. So that's something you can't control. Okay, what can you control? You lost your job, you were laid off, unfortunately. So on the other side of COVID-19, you might not have a job. You might have to go somewhere else. You may have to even change industries. Whether it's a business or a job, you have to do something because you have to survive. But what will you do as an individual moving forward? I think we have relinquished too much of our personal responsibility to the government. There is, of course, a part of our existence that they govern. But what about the part that we govern personally? It's an opportunity. COVID-19 is horrible, horrendous, but it still presents each of us with an opportunity. And I believe that we shouldn't allow this thing to rob us of our joy. So find peace of mind. and get our your mind, my mind, our minds in the right place, so that once we're on the other side, we know exactly what we have to do. We know exactly where we're going. All right? It's an opportunity also to reset. Where are we currently in our lives? Is there something that you've been doing that you don't want to do? Is there a change that you have been wanting to make for the last 2 decades of your life, 3 decades of your life, 4 decades of your life that you were unable to make? Now is a time for each and every one of us to do some introspection and decide where we want to take our lives, where we want to take our families. Right? As I said, things can change quickly, extremely fast, very, very fast. Things can change. Okay, so we understand life as well as brief. It can change in a moment like this. What will you use the remainder of your time to do? Y'all know I'm all about being purpose driven. That's my mindset. Some people just say, hey, there's no such thing. But I believe differently. I believe that each of us have an internal compass. And I believe that that compass can guide us, will guide us to where we ought to be if we allow it, if we listen to it. And if you guys remember the interview with Annette, the lawyer in Okinawa, she spoke about that same thing. You know, that voice, that thing that directs. But if there's too much noise, you can't hear it. You don't know where you have no direction. You have no guidance because you're just too loud. You're just like existing, being impacted by every stimuli or stimulus. So that's kind of like where I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go on that, like go above COVID-19. It's almost like, like when the plane is flying and there's a storm on the lower, right? There's a storm. You got to go above the clouds, right? While you're underneath that cloud, man, underneath the clouds, man, it's crazy. There's strong winds, lightning, thunder, right? It's dark. It looks crazy, right? It's bleak. You're wet. You're terrified, but once you ascend above the clouds, it's like you're in another stratosphere, literally. And the experience there is totally different. And it's not that chaos is not below, it's going on still, but you have now, you've now risen to a higher plane. You have ascended to a higher plane. COVID-19, man, it's one of those things, man. It's like, yeah, when we look around, none of us, were expecting this thing. Plans got rearranged. One of the biggest sporting event ever, like the biggest sporting event the world over, the Olympics, was postponed as a result of COVID-19. Still an opportunity. It's still an opportunity. Where is it? I'll just pause there for a second and go through the comments and see what you guys are saying. And I want you guys to call in as well. I know some people might be compelled to talk about COVID-19 and just all the, the conspiracies or what's taking place in different countries and all that. But I want to change the tone today. I want to change the tone today a little bit. Right? I want to change the tone today where we can all just talk about just different things, like how are you coping with it? Like, how do you think we can move from this thing mentally, from being bogged down with all the negativity? How can we ascend? Because the moment you turn on your TV, you see it. It's there. But look, every single circumstance, there's an opportunity. Every single circumstance, there's an opportunity. Like a simple example, I've heard this before, that the point of a business is not to make money. The point of a business is to solve a problem. You want to start a business, you find a problem, you present a solution. No one likes problems. We all hate problems, but problems present an opportunity. Just a simple way to look at it. Problems present an opportunity. So if there's a problem, you find a solution, that's a business is born. Where in COVID-19, what's the opportunity? It's definitely a time to reflect. It's definitely a time to reflect. It's definitely a time to reset. It's definitely a time to really, whatever you're doing, make it recession proof. When you come up above the water, when you ascend above the clouds, You have a better viewpoint. You have a better vantage point. The entire world. It's not just one country. It's not just your family. It's not just you. It's the entire world right now. All of humanity. Everybody. It's an opportunity, man. Trust me. And I know, like, sometimes, look, I've seen some dark days, man. I've seen some dark days, and I'm sure some of you or most of you guys have seen dark days as well. But each of these dark days, man, as much as you hate it, and when you're in it, it's just the worst. It's just the worst. It presents an opportunity, at the very least, an opportunity to be introspective. At the very least, an opportunity to be introspective. So I'm saying, whether these conspiracies are true or not, whether, COVID-19 just like ruins the world's economy, right? Devastates countries. Whether the unemployment rate goes through the roof. Whatever it is, man. There is like personal responsibility that we have. The government can only do so much because we allow them to govern. But within our household, we are the government within our household, right? So we decide the direction of ourselves, our family, where are we going? What are we doing? Take this opportunity. Don't allow COVID-19 to rob you of your joy. Don't allow what's going on to decide how you feel. You decide how you want to feel about it. You decide your response. And that's one of the reasons why when people are saying other people can't say certain things, I'm not about that. Because the decision is theirs. Because if you want someone to, you want to remove someone's personal decision to say something or their opinion or whatever, then you yourself don't have the right to hold an opinion. You don't, because we're all humans. We're all on the same level. That's what I believe. How do you want to respond to it? How do you want to respond to it? Are you responding to COVID-19 the way that you're being told to respond to it? Or have you made your own assessment and decided, you know what? Okay. Fear. I should be paralyzed by fear. I should fear my fellow man. Or will you decide, you know what? Joy, man. Joy. That's how I'm going to respond to it. Yes, I'll prepare. I'll do what I need to do, right? Because you got to do that. But emotionally, mentally, spiritually, what are you doing? And that's where joy comes from, man. Y'all know it. It comes from within. I'm telling you, y'all know it. For instance, I was telling someone last year that you could miss a flight, right? And it's not easy. I'm not saying this is easy, right? Because I still struggle with it, right? I still struggle with it. And you miss a flight. Cool? And, okay, I do, for me, I don't know, some of you guys may not, yeah, anyways, maybe a short temper a little bit. So, even though you guys see me, I'm always smiling. So I'm like this extremely happy guy, and then I go to the next extreme or whatever. Anyways, we're all humans. So for me, like, I have a short temper sometimes. Most time, maybe. Anyways, so, like, if you miss a flight, for instance, you can decide in that moment in time to get mad, right? I think that happened to me once. I got so cheesed off because it was just crazy. But the truth of the matter is, you can miss a flight and it's you might lose your money. But how would you respond to that? You have the decision. And I've tried it before. You get mad, right? Okay. You get mad. That's a decision. Or you could decide, you know what, hey man, everything happens for a reason. There's a reason why I missed that flight. There's a reason why I missed that flight. There's an opportunity here. There's a lesson here. And you can decide to just, when you feel that feeling bubbling up, that feeling of wrath or whatever, you can decide, you know what, let me not allow this to surface. Let me push that back down, okay? And let me respond with meekness. Let me respond with a soft voice. And you can do that. We all can make that decision. And you see the difference. Like, snap, I do have so much control over my own emotions. Like, you can do it. So the same thing can happen to 10 different people and you can have 10 different responses. You missed your flight, you lost something, whatever the case is, just think about something bad that usually annoys people or upsets people. You're in traffic, you're late, snap, you're late. You're late for a meeting and you're in traffic. You like the train ain't coming on time, something is going on and you're mad. You never left on time. So now all this emotion is coming. But you, of course, you can decide. You feel that the tension, the anxiety, y'all know how it is. You feel the emotion inside of you, but you can just, you know what? You exhale, you're like, you know what, cool. I'm late. It sucks. But I'm late, yo. I'm not going to compound what's going on with negative emotions. And then you just, you go where you got to go. You apologize if you need to apologize and you carry on with your day. But it's all about the response to it. And everything that we've gone through, and if you spend some time thinking about different moments in your life, you can respond to it. So all I'm trying to say is, I'm talking about responding to what's going on. You can make up your mind whether you're going to be fearful, whether you're going to be this way or that way. Someone can do something to you in public. And you can decide, you're like, you know what? As much as you're able to defend yourself, for instance, you can just say, you know what? I'm not even going to allow this thing to even bother me. You go on with your day. But if you allow your ego to get to you, that's where you go downhill. You're going down. You're going down, y'all. You're going down because you're getting mad. You're like, you know what? I can done this person. You're just thinking in your mind. It's crazy, man. But I'm just talking about if you can rule your spirit, if you can rule all these things within you, man, then you're good, man. He doesn't care about us. What's this? But yeah, all I'm talking about, a part of what I'm talking about is our response. We have the power to respond. You don't have to respond how people want you to respond. You don't. The decision is yours. The decision is yours, man, honestly. You don't have to respond in fear. You don't have to respond with anger. You don't have to respond with confusion. You don't have to allow anxiety to take over your life. You can decide to remain calm, to let peace abide, to let joy abound. And plan your future. Look for the opportunity. Now is the time, if you lost your job, to find something else, something that you believe you would enjoy. Maybe it's time for you to start a business. Maybe it's time for you to start looking at the next decade and seeing the industries that will be no more. And decide, okay, you know what? I'm going to enter this space. Maybe I need to learn this skill. What's next? It's a reset. This is a big reset. And I'm not sure whether it's man-made or if there's something else that's like causing this reset. It's a reset, y'all. All of us have personal responsibility right now. The government is doing what they can. I was listening to the Tokyo governor just now. She's doing what she can. The government of Japan is doing what they can. The government of your country is doing what they can. Whether they can do more or not, they know. But they're doing what they were elected to do. Or at the very least, the appearance of doing what they were elected to do. But what are you doing? It's an opportunity. We can decide how to respond. And sometimes it's not easy, especially when you're in some dark places. It's not easy. But even then, you still have the ability and the choice. Someone is saying it's a reset. It's a reset. You can decide. That's what I'm saying. When you're asking that, it seems like you're being, it's almost a colloquial. Well, you're being sarcastic, maybe. I'm not sure. Like, you're like, it's a reset. I don't think so. See, that's what I'm saying. You reserve the right to respond to it how you want to respond to it, man. Trust me. But one thing I know, and I know that most of you guys know this to be true, you can decide to respond to everything. Everything, even if you experience something and the common reaction is to do something like, you understand, the common reaction is to someone does something bad to you, the usual response is to do something bad to them. That's usually the way it is, but you don't have to. You have that choice. Someone wants you to be afraid, you don't have to be afraid. You have that choice. That's the truth, man. We're humans. We're not a tree. You know, someone said, look, you're not a tree. You don't like where you are? Move. You're not a tree. That's oversimplifying it, but you get the point. Let's just read some comments. And guys, you can call again. I don't want to blabber too much. Some of you guys will say, Ranzo, you're talking too much. But I just wanted to come on with that today, man. You know, I feel like some of the videos that I've done, the live streams, we talk about what's going on. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we're dwelling on it. Yeah, COVID-19 is a thing of the day right now. Yeah. But can we look at it from a different vantage point? Let me just see what you guys are saying. Hopefully I made some sense, at least 10% sense. Did I make 10% sense just now? Let's see. D-Nice, welcome. Synth the Supernatural, how you doing? Enola, welcome. Kashu, what's up from Virginia? Black man, Filipino wife, how you doing? Sincerely M, good morning from Saudi Arabia. What's up? Oh yeah, you've been trying to make it, but you keep missing the live stream. Welcome, you made it today. What's this? Hatshi. Okay, I'll just call you a Hatshi. How you doing? What's up? Chili Freeman, how you doing? Wagwan. Akaben, Renaissance. Love from Oakland, California, I believe. Hey, how you doing? Who else is there? Something new, AMBW. Hello. Questioning until when things happen. Are we still coming back to normal, Ranzo? Are we still coming back to normal? Do you mean in this world? I'm not sure. But if you can prepare your mind, right? I think whatever comes, you got to deal with it, and that's life. Because the truth of life is, whatever will come, will come. You know, whether we are prepared for it, whether we want it or not. But life just throw things your way, and you just got to deal with it. You know, that's how life is. You know. So you got to like fortify yourself and make sure that you're as strong as you possibly can be, at least with, your present experience. And you just try to like strengthen your mind, and you just take it on as it comes, and you grow. Thank you for staying positive. India, hugs for humanity. Indeed. Let's see what else we have here. This entire situation definitely brings things into perspective. Let's see. Akeem, don't set your mind through much negativity. Think about positive things in your mind. Indeed. Let's see. SD, I have to go out to get supplies, need mask. Spending this downtime searching for grants and creating in works or creative works. I'm also working out more. I don't know how I'm going to pay bills, but I can't stress. Wow. SD, did you lose your job? Definitely got to find a way. Matthew, I'm Portuguese, but BEJ gives me amazing insight. Thanks for coming on, Matthew. I appreciate it. Let's see. Danielle, Jordan, sincerely M, do you work? Okay, so I see that. Peter, Proverbs. Gil, aka MMA fan, peace and blessing. What's up? Peace to you, man. So something new said, I've used this time on further bettering myself, learning, researching, reading, etc. Have been occupying my time efficiently. Good stuff. So Daniel said, we're going to have to go to the food pantries and bring back, if you have a particular skill and another person has a particular skill, then exchange time for what needs to be done. Indeed. Okay, so I'm just reading through the comments, guys. If you're wondering what am I doing right now, this is a live stream. This is as live as it gets. Sam, hello from Ottawa. Welcome back, Sam. Let's see. Just hearing that Delta airline want to make it a requirement to get a vaccine certificate before boarding. Really? Yeah, I'm not for anything that's mandatory. I'm not for forcing people to do anything. So I'm not for that. But even in the midst of that, right? It's still, you know what? It's still, we have to decide how to respond. We have to decide how to respond, man. Jamil, hello, Ranzo. Hope everyone's having a great day. It's a decent day so far. I worked out this morning. Really crazy workout session. I did some burpees. Y'all know how burpees are. Y'all know. I always try to do the hardest things to try to master those hard. Everything that people are running away from, I try to master it, like burpees. Everyone hates it, but it's so, it hurts, but it works. So I try to run. I did over 100 today. That was good. Sakura, Ranzo, you always seem to be talking to me personally. The things you talk about, I always need to hear. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, let's see who else. Rosalind, hey, what's up? Welcome. Okay, let's see. Kaya, how you doing? I'm just going through the comments, guys, because I want you guys to know that I'm reading your comments, like I'm paying attention, right? So I'm not ignoring you guys. I just wanted to just get out some of that. Lala, Papa, how you doing? Joy, when you interview the teacher in Asia. Okay, I saw that. Which country in Asia is more favored for this sort of unforeseen situation? For example, unemployment, etc. If one was thinking to visit Asia in the future, heard the China guy said they don't really care. Yeah, I guess I can't really say. I guess with that question, Joy, I guess the answer has to do with maybe it depends how that country deals with the foreigner, but I guess it depends on your individual and unique circumstance. It might be the industry that you're in. It might be the company that you work for, right? So I think there's a plethora of factors to be considered in terms of how countries within Asia deals with, unemployment of foreigners and stuff like that. It might just be the policy with foreigners and long-term or short-term residents as well. So I can't speak to that. I don't have all the data. Sincerely, we're still alive. We are indeed. Let's see, where are we? Zelda. Okay, I see what you're saying, Zelda. Betty, what's up, Betty? Valcover, how you doing? Melanin in Asia, how you doing? Whitney, what's up? How you doing? With this, Robix, what's up? What's up? Okay, I'm trying to tell everyone hi. Yeah, and when we're anxious and we're terrified, we can't really make good decisions as well. Michael, actually, if you plan the coronavirus, you buy puts and would be super rich right now on the stock market. I see. Earl, I'm looking at stocks to buy. That might be a good thing as well. Okay. Some people are saying it's a good time to buy stocks. Yeah, indeed. I'm not a financial advisor, but it's an opportunity as well. If the world returns to normal, let's say that's the case, you're good. Buy some stuff. But if it doesn't return to normal, then hey, that's when spending all your money right now might not be the wisest thing to do. But if it does return to normal, these are the times when people make a lot of money because you buy stocks and you prepare for when it goes back up, right? If something horrible happened and things don't return to normal, then that's a problem. But it might return to normal. It's very possible that it will. So it might be an opportunity for investing as well. But of course, I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, cool. So don't listen to me with that. Make your own decision. Let's see. Who else have I not said hello to? Rukadan, how you doing? Kat, Michigan, how you doing? Not sure how I found your channel. I'm loving the content. Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for coming on. Brian, I cannot picture you being short-tempered. You got to talk about that. Look, hey, what do you mean talk about it? How? It's one of those things. I'm a very happy person. Y'all see I'm smiling all the time, but I'm like a really happy guy. And then if it under the wrong circumstance, I'm like the exact opposite. I think we all are like that. No, I don't know. I'm usually extreme, so it's either really happy or the next one of those two. I'm usually not in the middle. Anyways, Michael, prices are going low. Okay, you're talking about stock still. Betty, okay, Betty, we can trust God to see us through anything. Indeed, I believe that as well. Sincerely, M, love this channel full of inspirational messages. I appreciate that. Go to see, bro. Like, can you change your name? Like, why? Like, look, bro, look. Sometimes you say some things that make sense, but I don't like reading your username, man. And I know sometimes you troll heavy. Okay, I don't want to silence you. Can you change your name, please? Change your name. Use a different username, man. I don't know, like, there's a reason why you chose that username. Change that username, bro. Change it, man. Michael, he's Jamaican. Okay, let's not go down this road. You can't generalize. Let's not generalize. Okay, we can't generalize. Where are we? I know it takes time to read the comments, and I know it's slow paced when I'm going through the comments. Forgive me. I guess I just want to read most of the comments, like if I have a time to do it, so you guys feel like I'm actually reading their comments. I understand I can't get to all of them all the time, and sometimes I'm talking or if someone called, I can't get to all the comments. But so I'm trying to read the comments, right? So some of you guys might say it's slow paced right now, but I'm trying to read what you said. If you're saying something and I missed it, and you really want to say it, please just retype it. What's this? IT Noetic. It's man-made because, okay, I see what you're saying there. Okay, let's see. Ashley, how you doing? Future, I'm not bipolar. What's up? They banned your name. Fried. Okay. So choose another name, man. Choose another name, because people do that on YouTube and social media. They choose a name that will inflict like just different type of duress on people's minds, man. You know, trolls usually do that. Change your name to something, either like some random generic name, or change it to something that when people read it, it will, promote positivity, man. Who is this? You can speak French? I cannot. My wife knows way more French than I do. Garlinia, how you doing? Guys, feel free to call. The number is in the description down below. Feel free to call if you guys want to call and just share in this moment of trying to push forth or bring forth some positivity. Vincier. Shaquenta. I appreciate it. Yeah, so okay, so guys, so that's pretty much the goal of what we're doing. What time is it? Because it's 43 minutes in. I think I've said all of what I wanted to say, earlier about just responding to COVID-19 a certain way. One thing is for sure, most people are fearful. Especially with uncertainty, right? Especially with what people think will take place. People are terrified, and some people are fine because some people aren't taking this thing serious at all. So it's a mixed bag. But just control the way you respond. Don't allow people to tell you how to respond to it, right? And usually that's be afraid. Be very afraid, right? Be anxious. Be terrified. Run around in confusion. But take this time, this opportunity to plot your course going forward. Time for common sense. Okay, let's see. Someone. Oh, there we go. Hey, thanks for calling. What's your name and where are you calling from?
It's Carlina.
Hey, what's up?
Hey there, calling from Southern California.
Okay.
I just wanted to say as far as... Oh, sorry.
No, continue.
I just wanted to say that I'm actually taking this opportunity to really kind of help people that are really fearful to
Mm-hmm.
get a better perspective. This is a great opportunity to be able to help bring peace to a very troubling, situation.
Yeah.
I know my personal convictions. I'm not afraid, but nothing to me. Nothing's worse. I was talking to a father and a husband. He is petrified,
Mm.
and I just kind of told him, I'm like, dude, your family needs you. You can't be breaking up like this.
Yeah.
um, and then also, just a reminder that when people get to thinking about some of the other crises that they've come through, this is not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And and of course, I think a big portion of that is what they're listening to. It's it's terrible that I feel like that most of our media is designed to to promote pandemonium, just promote fear and panic and all of that. Um, and so I don't consider myself a programmed hooked up person to that, but everybody's not in that place. But I take the opportunity to just kind of turn things around and get them to kind of shake out of it, because the last thing you want is to have a bunch of people that are petrified,
Mm-hmm.
and freaking out because they do crazy stuff when you have this stuff running in your head every day, all day long, when you wake up and go to bed.
Yeah.
It has a residual effect on your health, which is, that's the aftermath of even us being cooped up like we are. Um, people are not designed to be like this, and so you got to find creative ways to think, be more positive. It affects your health too.
Yeah.
So,
How do you personally plot your course out of COVID-19? So like when you're looking forward, like maybe after COVID-19, I don't know, 1-2 years from now, like how do you plot
mhm.
it? Like what do you think about? What do you consider? What are those things? How do you keep yourself positive?
Well, um, of course, I have my relationship with God. I,
Hmm.
but I also I'm I don't know. I guess because I have gone through so many scary situations that are worse than this to me, that I have seen God pull me through,
Hmm.
and be kind of be at. I feel like I have been there. Are times I've been at death's door, and so when you get to a place where you've been pushed to death or
Yeah.
close to it, there comes a time where you like, either I'm going to live or we're just going to just let it go right now. I don't have the fear that I used to have, because he's proven himself to be big enough to handle my stuff.
Hmm.
And so things like this, because I'll have people that'll come out. I had one lady, because I do grocery delivery, so I'm the one that's doing the delivery for the groceries. And I
Okay.
had one lady come. I had one lady come out, and she wanted to hand me gloves and a mask. Now, personally, because I do a lot of digging and research, and these people. I'm like, how are you supposed to protect yourself when the actual virus is smaller than that little cloth mask you got? You're supposed to have one of those specialty in whatever those masks are,
And
the
95.
industrial. Yeah. So because the microns or whatever, it's very microscopic.
Hmm.
So, um, but
Someone is
I
asking,
don't.
I don't know if you want to divulge or disclose this information, but someone is asking your age, if you have any kids, or are you married, etc.
I have 4 children. I am I am over 50,
Okay.
and and
Okay.
no, not married. No, not married, but probably dating.
Okay. Okay.
But no, I
How,
remember.
how,
See,
how
this
is
thing
how
actually
is dating? How is you know what? That's a good thing. How is dating during COVID-19? Right? Do you guys do
oh
like
yeah, just
Skype dates, or do you like how do you do it?
no, because I'm actually, well, I'm at the beginning stages of dating. So,
Okay.
and it just so happens that the person that I at the beginning stages, we believe the same thing. We're not afraid. So you just, be creative.
Hmm.
Um, you can't go to a restaurant, so of course I haven't just be creative. That's all. It's no big deal. I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
I don't think it's a big deal.
Okay, cool. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Well, I'm I this whole thing kind of reminded me took me back when I was a little kid, and we had the 1970s gas crisis. And so as a little kid, that was scary for me because we couldn't get gas every day. There were lines, and it just looked apocalyptic to me as a little kid. And I'm asking my parents, "Hey, is this the end of the world?" And but like I said, the experiences that I've had, and most people who have lived long enough, if they just take a moment and think about, because no one's had a really, I don't believe anybody's, well, I don't think very many people have had silver spoons in their mouth
Hmm.
and everything served to them, perfectly.
Yeah.
You hit bumps in the road in life. When you were 18, you had all of these grandiose ideas, and then you get older and stuff happens.
Hmm.
And I think that that's the reason why we need to value our elders, because if you have elders that are in their right mind now, they can really impart some balance to young people who might not have a very good perspective because they just don't have the life experience. That's all.
No, indeed. And sometimes as well, there is, I think that's, it's, what's the word? Like dichotomous, kind of, because there's two
Mhm.
ways I look at it. One is when you get older, sometimes, right? People lose
Mhm.
that drive, that youthful optimism, and some people call it naivety, like, or that they would say to the young person that you're naive when someone is going
Yes.
after something, right? Because they
Yes.
might not have the experience of
Mhm.
experiencing maybe like certain type of failures, and so the
Mhm.
youth is coming up and they're like, I'm going to do this, right?
Mhm.
And then the
Mhm.
older person might say, because of their personal experience of maybe running against,
Yes.
coming up against a roadblock or something, and they might want to
Mhm.
advise the young person. But that spirit that the young person has is important and
Mhm.
essential as well. And if that old
Mhm.
person or older person can reconnect with that spark that they themselves
Mhm.
had, right?
Mhm.
They can
Mhm.
like sort of like get a jump start again to go after what they want. Because I personally believe as well that you're never too old to pursue anything.
Mhm.
And there are so many examples in life, but there are things, of course. So I'm saying just for stuff like that, I think
Mhm.
that's where there needs to be a balance, right? Because I
Well,
know there's older people that because something never happened and like this happened, they planned something, it never happened, and then the older you get, you're like, man, well, you know what, life is not that easy, which it isn't.
mhm.
And then they
Mhm.
pass that on, not to encourage the person to say, okay, this is a possibility, but more so sometimes to tell a person, look, man, I don't know, and it's usually not always, but there's a lot of negativity that's directed downward to the youth that's actually coming up. So I think in
Mhm.
that case, I think there needs to be a balance sometimes.
Mhm. Well, I that's the reason why I said an elder that has balance and is they're in their right mind.
Yeah.
I might that might be kind of raw, but truthfully, okay. So my perspective on having a right mind, because we live in life, we have most of us come with baggage. We also don't get to pick our families.
Hmm.
Sometimes we have wonderful families, and sometimes we don't. And so it's just my personal belief. If you can deal with your baggage,
Hmm.
if you can, if you can open the door to them closets, pull the stuff from under the rug, put some light on it, and deal with it and face it, then everybody else's stuff is not going to scare you.
Hmm.
um, it requires, to me, it requires you to be transparent. It requires you to, humility. It's a lot of different things. It requires maturity.
Yeah.
And I can see those that are have gotten older, and I call it arrested development, where you didn't bother to deal with your stuff. So situations like this take you right back to when you were 5, and you never grew from there. And then you
Mm.
pass that on to everybody else that you're around. So, that's the perspective that I'm coming from. I don't want to pass that on. I'm
Yeah.
at an age now where I can talk to young people and just keep their fire going, give them a bit of, give them some rails on the side, but don't block them off. just
Yeah.
because you were too afraid to go do what you need to do, or whatever. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely, definitely. Definitely. I think it's one of those things, man. Life is hard. Like, and I think that's one thing. And I think if we approach life, especially the younger people coming up as well, if we approach life without that in the back of our minds, we will be
hmm
blindsided, because you're going
yeah.
at it thinking that, okay, it's going to be easy or whatever, but you got to be
hmm
prepared just in case, or you got to, like,
hmm
that's why I talk about fortifying your mind as much as possible, because you need to be ready because
Yeah.
life is unpredictable. That's one thing that's certain. Life is so
Yes.
unpredictable, and if you're unable to prepare yourself, at least mentally, right? Because if you ain't got the
hmm
resources to prepare yourself financially, at least your mind, you can ready your mind, you can ready your spirit as much as you can, your emotions, so that when it comes, at least you can, you can maneuver, you can do something. You can do something. You won't
Yeah.
break, you can bend, but you won't be broken, right? So I think it's important
Right.
to be ready, because life can be challenging,
Yeah.
and the thing is, just the way life is. Anything that's
Yeah.
worthwhile, I found that in my own life as well. Anything that's worthwhile is hard, and if you're
hmm
gonna approach it thinking that it's gonna be easy, you've already lost. Like, you gotta, like, be ready. Look, to
hmm
work hard, man, extremely hard, because it ain't easy. I always go back
hmm
to, like, working out, and I like bringing myself back to that, because it is hard. Okay, when you see someone with a
hmm
certain body, some people, they look and say, oh. I'm like, every time I see someone with, like, a good body in terms of, like, well built and stuff, I'm like, okay, I know what it took. I'm like, I know
hmm
what it takes to look like that. And I keep telling
hmm
myself that when I'm working out, it hurts, but it works. But the work that's involved, it's like, will you do the work? Will you make the
hmm
sacrifices? Because there's no other way to reach that place unless you do the
hmm
work. So,
And I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, no, continue.
Well, no, the what you're talking about as far as the work, I apply it to life. When and I guess just agreeing with what you're saying, it requires work for you to be present in the moment that you're in, and not check out. It requires work for you to approach a situation and challenge and decide that you're going to be present and you're going to walk through it and not check out. You
Yeah.
know, all of these things. I think we could use more people that have that type of balance. And so I get the opportunity to do it every day, and it
Mm,
tickles me, and I'm happy. Because
nice.
sometimes if you can just give somebody just a nudge and an encouraging word, and like with the father, I just kind of I'm like, what did you say you were? You said you were a Christian. Why are you walking around here petrified? I can see it on your face.
Wow.
That's what you take home. That's what your kids see. That's what your wife. How can you produce? You
Mm,
can't produce anything but a mess. No, we don't need that. Today is the day. You you haven't been ordered to die. So
mm,
can you shake yourself and come out of this?
yeah.
Anyway, so
No, yeah, you have a point. Definitely. You definitely
but
have a
I have
point.
I'm just glad that I get a chance to meet people. I love it. I didn't do this when I was younger, but I just love it. I love it.
I'm happy that you love it, man. That's an amazing place to be. Definitely. Like, once you get that joy, once you derive that joy from just your interactions, your job, your work, whatever it is, that's a beautiful place to be. And I think that's where most humans want to get to, right?
Mhm.
So enjoy it, man. Enjoy it.
Mhm. Thank you. I'll catch y'all another time.
All right, thanks for calling. Take care.
All right. Bye bye.
All right, bye. Okay, guys. If someone else wants to call, I'm enjoying the positivity, right? Yeah, I'm enjoying the positivity. So, look, if you guys want to call and your call is a similar tone like that, call in, because that's what today's about. Like, we spoke about, what's going on in the countries already. We spoke about um, this conspiracies. We spoke about all that. But we got to go beyond that. As I said, we got to rise above those storm clouds. We got to ascend, which is extremely important. And I know, like, sometimes, I guess now, in my mind, because I know that some of these things aren't easy, and sometimes when I want to talk about it, it's like I remember, how hard it is to do certain things, and then sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't know if I wanna. So I'm always saying something, and then I always say something to a follow up to say, okay, I know this is hard, right? Even what I said about the responding to a situation, it's not easy to respond in a way that's not normal for you, right? It's hard. Usually if you respond to a certain circumstance a certain way, and you've been doing that for a long time, and you decide that you want to change your response, it's not going to be easy. You're going to make mistakes, and you're going to find yourself responding to it in the way that you've been responding to it for the last 15 years. So I understand that sometimes it's not as easy, but if you have a mindset that, you know what, we're going to work at it, and that it's going to be hard, then you prepare yourself to do the work. And, you'll get there, right? You'll get there. Let's see. Someone is saying, talking about fake news. Your choice, your belief, your life. Let's see. I'm using this time to practice Mandarin. Sign up for college, relocate after, possibly. Relocate after, and acquire a new job. Sounds good. What was that? Garlinia said, I do expect we will be probably experiencing a baby boom. The coronavirus baby boom. Someone actually did a video about that, like a parody, and it was funny. People are locked up in their houses, right? Whether, couples, right? And they're like, 9 months from now, there's going to be a lot of babies. Hopefully by then, this thing is not as, crazy as it is right now, so that there will be beds available for people who need to give birth and all that good stuff. So that's also, that's very, you know what, you got a point there. Yeah. Okay. Someone said that joke is horrible. I don't know, but it might be facts though. It might be facts. So okay, who else want to call, guys? What time is it? Okay, so we have. Okay, I'll give you guys maybe 15 more minutes thereabout. Am I still on? But just to cap this thing off, it's all about, look, again, mindset. How are you responding to COVID-19? Don't allow people, the media, government, or whatever to decide how you respond to this mentally, emotionally. Of course, as I said, do what you need to do to protect yourself and your family, right? Do all that good stuff. Do all the things you can do physically. You get your groceries, you do all these things. But we need to spend this time to be introspective and decide how we're going to move forward. And don't allow fear to make your decisions for you. Don't allow fear to cripple you and paralyze you and anxiety. I understand, look, if you lost your job, you're not sure how you're going to make money. Your business, is no longer, a business. You had to close your doors. You have to start over. I know that to be in a place like that is not a good place. It's really hard. But the truth of the matter is, if your mind is in the right place, you're good to go, man. You're good. It's not easy to get to that place, but if you can get your mind right, you're good. So Lala is saying, the next time that you're live streaming, pretty sure I will be able to call up. Well, you can call now. You can be the final caller if you want. I'm going live again tomorrow at 10 a.m. JST. We do this daily, but not on this channel. This is the main BEJ channel. We do have a live channel. The link to that channel is in the description down below. And you can click on that link and go there, subscribe, and you'll see us there. You can join all of us there at 10 a.m. JST, Japan Standard Time. So I'm not sure what time that is for you, but 10 a.m. If you go over there, you subscribe, you will receive a notification. You'll receive a notification when we go live. Wait, dinner? Wait, you live in the Philippines? Wait, what time is it in the Philippines? It's 11:20. You had dinner at in the morning? Isn't it like morning daytime in Philippines? Or wait, do you live in the States? Oh, you okay? You might live in the States, okay, or somewhere else across the globe. No problem, Lala. In Toronto, we have seen an upswing of physical abuse to spouses. Really interesting. Is that real? You know, some my wife said something to me as well about stuff like that. So because some people, I guess, don't want to stay home, but I don't want this to go to like a negative thing. So I guess some people who try to avoid being home, this might not be a good time for them. Hopefully those people get out of those situations, because that's horrible. If you find yourself in that and you're watching, I don't know, like don't allow fear to cripple you. Make a video, record something, get it on tape or something, and go to the authorities to get that dealt with. Um, yeah, yeah. Don't subjugate yourself to that or subject yourself to that. Chile said, do a nightly Japan 30-minute session. It's 9 a.m. for me. I'll be tuned in, Ranzo. So wait. Oh, so you're saying I should do it in the nighttime as well? The thing is, I do quite a few things, so I can't do the live stream all the time. I have a time. I allocate time for this. Sakura, wish you could go on at a better time, man. So it's 3:20 here. Where do you live, Sakura? 3:20? That's like UK. Wait, you're in the UK then, right? I think you're in the UK if it's like 3:20. Take care, SD. Take care. I hope you find a solution, man. Edwin, take care, man. Appreciate it. Take care, Our Light Divine. Thanks for coming on. Jara, hey, what's up? Let's see. I think I'm gonna end it now. Okay, so guys, thanks for coming on. I should have a quote for the day. I don't know what quote could I drop. Okay, quote of the day. So I might do this every day. Again, if you guys wanna come on again tomorrow, the live channel. This is not the live channel. This is the main channel. Okay, we're not trying to do these on this channel. I'm just doing this on this channel sometimes to alert you guys to the existence of the live channel, so you guys can go over there and join us daily. The link is in the description down below. I will also pin it at the top in the comment section, so you can click on that, go over there. We are at 400 subscribers. We need to get to 1,000 so we can stream outdoors when we're able to and the need arises. So whenever the need arises we'll stream outdoors if we need to do that. Link is in the description down below. So the quote of the day, I'll try to do these. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. I think that one is a big one. So the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Right? So you're terrified. You're terrified of entering that cave, man, because it looks so dark. Right? You're hearing sounds. Right? You feel like there's a bear inside there. You're like, my gosh, I'm not trying to go inside this cave right now. I'm terrified. But the treasure that you seek is there. Okay, we got a call. What's up, Robert? How you doing? Hello.
Hey,
So Robert is calling
is it okay if I
from
call?
from Japan. Yeah, you're the final caller.
Yeah.
Mute your mic, mute your computer.
Okay, hold on a second. I just wanted to help everybody out, get through this, because I know it's hard for a lot of people. And there's something that friends have been telling me back in New York through my live stream is that a lot of companies right now are offering, I don't, now this might sound a little bit odd or cliche, but they're offering free video games on Steam and Epic Games because of the crisis going on right now. So if you guys never have tried anything like that before, and you need to take your mind off of what's going on, give yourself a little bit of an escape that's more mentally active than television and all the negative news going on, yeah, I highly recommend you to download Steam and check out Epic Games and stuff. They have a lot of expensive games that are free now. They're given away like charity.
Okay, so all the gamers out there, if you're interested in
Yeah.
that, then this is like, hey, it's Christmas for you. Enjoy.
This, yeah, and for those who have maybe money but they're stuck and they don't know what to do because they're not gamers, VR is a great thing. Steam came out with Half-Life Alyx, which is it's a really, really big deal in the gaming community. It looks so realistic, it's almost scary.
Okay.
So yeah, things like VR gaming. If you're not into that, that's cool. But if you ever thought about giving it a try, this I think would be the perfect time to give gaming a shot as a hobby. Because you could still connect with people through virtual reality like VR chat, and it can kind of take your mind off all the negative news going on, so you can feel refreshed afterwards. So I just wanted to put that in quick. Don't want to take your time because I saw you're about to close up. Thank you so much.
No problem, man.
All
Thanks
right.
for sharing.
Bless.
Take care. All right, bye.
All right. See you.
All right, bye. Yeah, so yeah, books. Oh, well, not books, games. But I was going to say, you know what? Make sure you get some books in that as well, right? So get some books, read some books as well. It's a good time. Grab some books as well. It's another, you can, I like reading nonfiction. I'm not really into like fiction. I read fiction back in the day. Like I never spent, the only thing I read a lot was, like, I'm a Harry Potter fan. Like back then, I would devour those books way back when in high school. But, yeah, books. Get some books. Maybe nonfiction. I prefer those books now. So if some people might get lost into games, but I believe in doing things that will add value to you as an individual. I guess sometimes you do need entertainment, of course. I gotta admit, like, I've watched a few episodes of anime since COVID-19 started. But put books on your list as well. Get some books. Read up on something. Mine is a Steam employee. Let's see. Okay, so Sakura is going into Steam. Okay, so we got some gamers here. Okay. You Gryffindor Ranzo. I don't know. Yeah, trust me, yo, that book was well written, man. I remember there was one night I read the book from the nighttime until the sun came out, and I couldn't stop because every time I'm reading, I'm like, yo, let me stop at this chapter. I'm like, okay, one last chapter. As I reached the last page, I'm like, ow, and I finished the book that night. Just crazy. Anyways, that's how good that book was, or those books are. Ranzo Loki saying games don't add value to your life. I don't know. I'm not a gamer, but whenever I find myself playing a game, I'm usually really good at it. Like whenever I bring myself to it, but I'm not like a gamer. I just feel like, I don't know, man. Like now these days, I don't like doing things that take away my time because time is limited and something that I don't feel that's adding value. Look, I know you have gamers out there like what's his name again? Ninja, who's like uber rich from gaming. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, for me personally, even though I've done live streams for like many hours back in the day, that's one of the reasons why I stopped doing those type of live streams, because even though I enjoy doing live streams, if I'm not adding value to your life, or I'm not adding value to my own life, I don't know. I feel like I'm just wasting life energy and time. That's why. That's the only thing. That's the only reason. Right? I don't know. I can't shake. I know I said I'm going to come off, but I can't shake how valuable life is. I can't shake the feeling that each human has a mission and a purpose. Some people don't think like that. They might see a man on the road and he's homeless, and they might feel like that guy doesn't have any purpose or any abilities, but that's a lie. But the thing is, we govern our decisions as well. There are consequences to various choices as well. Sometimes something happens and you can't avoid it. But you still have, once you have your faculties working, you still have the opportunity, once you're alive, to change your course. And sometimes it takes someone else to come and show you the light. Sometimes it takes someone else to help you up. But I can't shake that thing. Like when it comes on to just living life, just like any other day and just like partying, and that's not really my thing. Like it's not really, I don't know. That's just not me. I did have a time when I was doing that all the time or whatever. But I don't know. So games, if that's a way for some people to remain calm and stuff, do it if it's your thing. But for me, I don't know, I gotta find something that's adding value to my life and that I think will lead me to, the fulfillment of my purpose. I don't know. You can think about it? Y'all know sometimes I get so deep in this and I'm usually serious about stuff like this. But I can't shake it. It's my truth. It's what I believe. Because I feel like life is so valuable, so important. I understand the value of one life. If we go over history and think about what other people have done, one woman, one man, right? What they have started. When I look at that, I can't underestimate any person. I can't say this person is not valuable, because the truth of the matter is we don't know what that person will grow up or will do. It's just a fact of life. So many people who have done things in the past were, laughed at. They were ridiculed. It's just the way it is. And there's just way too many examples. So when it comes down to human potential, I take it very seriously. And I also understand the currency of time. And of course, balance is essential. But balance is I don't know that balance thing, because I tried that balance thing before. And I find, I'm not sure, look, listen, just take this with a grain of salt. I find personally when it comes down to balance, it's a chink in your armor, because momentum, as someone puts it, is a cruel mistress. It will turn on a dime. Like you make one simple mistake, you take a detour for a second, you take a break for a second, everything just goes crazy. So I don't know. So for me personally, I feel like you have to be obsessed with anything that you're trying to do. You have to be obsessed with it. Can't even take a break, yo. You can't. It's crazy. You take a break and then you make it a habit. Unless you're disciplined enough to take a break or go easy at some point. But I feel like you have to be intense 24/7. It's just the way life is. It's just the way life is. People who are at the top in whatever they're doing, they're intense 24/7. And people are like, how do you do it? It's just what's required, man. But anyways, I feel like time is valuable, and we got to use it to invest it to move towards what it is that we want to do. So you find what you want to do with your life. That within itself is a journey. And then you pour everything within you into that, and you spend the rest of your life to complete that task. And if you've done it, then you move on to something else, and you keep going until your day comes and you have to leave the world. But yeah, that's just the way I see it. Let's see, what do we have here? Someone said an argument against the value of a game can also be made against a YouTube video. It depends. It depends on what the video is about. It depends, right? At least in my opinion. Of course, as I said, each person reserves the right to hold their own opinion. But it depends on the video that you're watching, right? It depends on the video. Like, is there something of value in that video? Is there something that you can take from that experience that can lead you somewhere else, that you can invest in your own life? So it really depends on what you're watching. Sometimes you need to laugh. Of course, I get that. Sometimes you do. Okay? But you have to yeah. Time is, look, as I said, when you get older, you realize that you don't have an unlimited supply of energy, right? Which means the energy that you have to use that for what it is that you want to do. Right? You gotta use it. It's finite. Energy is not unlimited. I'm sorry. Y'all gonna get busty. You're gonna want to sleep. And even if you stay up for a day or two in a row, after a while, you're gonna crash, right? So you have to sleep. So you have to use the energy wisely. Time, energy. And that's, I was talking to, when was this? on the live channel on one of these talks, Earl called and we were talking about just parents and their responsibility to their kids. And sometimes, even as Garlina was saying, Garlino, yeah, she told me this pronunciation, Garlino, that there's a responsibility that parents have, right? And if you, as a child, you never had your parents never did what they ought to have done between your first 18 years on this earth, then you, once you become an adult, you have to now take up the reins of your life and decide the direction that you want to take your life in, right? If parents were being real parents and they took their job seriously, but the thing is, some people, you're a parent for the first time, like I'm a parent for the first time. It's my first daughter, she's 5. I don't know how to be a dad, or I never knew how to be a dad. I have to learn by talking to my elders, maybe buying a few books on parenting, reading those books so you can get a jump start, and then you can start rearing your child in the way that you believe will be the most effective way to rear that child, right? So now you're giving her or him a good foundation to stand on so that once they become an adult, they can do whatever. But if your parents wasn't like that, they never had the resources, they never had the time, they never had the experience or whatever, you as an adult now have to decide where you're going to go. What are you going to do with your life? Right? So that's the way, so we don't have time to really waste. I don't think we have time to waste. If your parents wasted 18 years, you're 18, you're 20, you're 30, you're 45, I don't care. As long as you're alive, you can restart. You can't change the past, the mistakes that you've made and the consequences that you're facing right now. You can't change it, but it's your reality. Question is, where next? Within your scope of influence, where next, right? What are you going to do with the time that you have left? You got to decide it. It's not easy. But as I said before, one of the secret is replacing habits. And I spoke about this and I know the power of habits. People sleep on habits. Listen, where your life is right now, it's as a result of the habits that you have. Your habits have created your present. So if you have some bad habits, those habits brought you to where you are right now. If you had some good habits, those habits brought you to where you are right now. And when you're trying to replace a habit, it's going to be hard, okay? But if you expend enough energy and discipline to replace that bad habit with a good one, right? Whether it's 30 days or 66 days, according to this book I read recently, once you've expended enough energy to replace your bad habit with a good habit, it becomes this thing that I call autopilot. So you put this thing on autopilot, and then that good habit now will take you to where you need to go. So that's what I believe. So I usually think about what habits are good. What habits can help me to get to where I need to go? What are my bad habits? Oh, snap, Ranzo, this is a horrible habit. You got to change it. You can't leave a void, which is important. You can't leave a void. Extremely essential. So when I change my eating habit and I stop eating all these things, I replace it. Stop drinking pop, stop drinking all these high sugar beverages or whatever. I can't leave a void because a craving will come. I replace it. Y'all see me drinking my smoothie and stuff. I have a super healthy stuff that I make at my house. I replace it with that, and that keeps you going. You're good. But you have to be able to replace your bad habits with good ones, and that will take you to where you need to go. So instead of being repelled from doing what you ought to do, right, whether it's through procrastination or doing something else, you now are being drawn to do the thing that you want to do. Simple example, whether it's reading, for instance, you don't like reading, okay, maybe you can listen to audiobooks. That's an alternative. That might be good. But if it's reading, you need to force yourself long enough to make it a habit, and then you find yourself taking up a book. You know, like me now with my intensive Japanese studies. So I have a kanji book here. Y'all know it's a really good book, extremely good book. You take it up even when you don't feel like it. And if you do that enough times, it becomes a habit. And that's it. You got to force yourself to get into a place where it's a habit. Like me, working out is a habit. Running is a habit. I've been doing it for so long. At first, it was horrendous. I hated it. I never wanted to do it. It was the worst thing on earth. But because I forced myself, I fought myself long enough. I endured long enough, now it's a habit, and it's a habit that does what? Gives me a stronger body, gives me a stronger mind. And when I look at myself in the mirror, all these burpees I'm doing that I feel like I'm gonna die have made them a habit now. So when I look at myself, I'm like, you know what? The body that you have, the reason why it looks like this, Ranzo, never forget, is all those times when you do burpees and you lay on your back like you're dying and you're panting for life. All those burpees that you do that burn your thighs, your abs, your shoulders, everything, all your muscles, is because you put yourself through that pain and that struggle. Why your body look like that? Don't you ever deceive yourself or forget it. Right? That's what I know to be true. And so when I'm talking to Garlina about just how hard life is, it's what's required. And most of us don't get that, right? Like most of us, we understand it and we try to find a way around it. But the truth of the matter is you got to dive into that thing head first, man. That's the only way you got to do it. Listen, trust me, man. You got to do it. So if you form a habit now, can you imagine if you reshuffle your life and everything that people say is beneficial to the human experience, everything that people say will lead you to where you want to go as an individual, if you personally can make those things your habit, the norm for you, eating the right things versus eating the wrong things, do you know how strong your body will be? How healthy you would be? How much stronger your immune system will be, right? How much just overall, all these things, we know what we ought to do, but we don't do it. Imagine if those things that we know that we ought to do became a habit, so you're being drawn toward it versus being repelled. Can you imagine that? You do all the things that you ought to do. And it's not by force. In the beginning, it will be by force. But once it takes on a habit, once it becomes a habit for you, you're good to go, man. Trust me. The mind is where it's at. You're good to go. And that's the truth. So, yeah, that's the truth. And the last quote I'm going to leave you guys with, because I got to go now, I have an appointment, is that self-discipline is freedom. It's hard. And I like when I talk to you guys about this, because I'm not talking to you guys about anything that I don't do. Self-discipline is freedom, because you decide what you want to do. Your impulses aren't like governing your life. Right? These things are not saying, okay, do this, and you got to do it, and you're failing all the time. You're falling all the time. You're like, oh my God, whatever it is, whatever bad habit you have. But if you're self-disciplined, you have the freedom to decide, to say, I'm not doing this, I'm doing that instead. I made the decision, not my impulses, not the bad habits, not the status quo, not whatever. Self-discipline is freedom, because you have empowered yourself to decide. So yeah, that's I kind of went off there. Sorry. Sometimes I go and people say you're preachy, but look, when I'm in it, yo. I'm sharing it. If you don't want it, I'm sorry. If you don't want it, hey, look, I can't help myself sometimes, yo. I'm just doing it until when I die, and then that's it. But as long as I'm alive, I'm just gonna be Ranzo. All right, so that's it. Let's see, guys. So thanks for coming on. My wife is waiting for me. We gotta go. Guys, I appreciate you guys for coming on. I hope you guys enjoyed this in some way, shape, or form. Again, the live channel, the official one, is down below. The link is down below. We'll be back on that tomorrow at 10 a.m. JST, Japan Standard Time. Thanks for coming on. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow on that channel. Link, description down below. Stay safe. Okay? Stay safe. Do not allow COVID-19 to rob you of your joy. There's an opportunity right now. Do you see it? Okay. Bye for now, guys. I appreciate all of you. Take care.